Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Smurfy and today we are back at it again with this crazy zoo list cheating Progenitus into play. But somehow the deck has managed to get even spicier. We're now playing the Titans in the list as well. So we're talking Sun Titan, Inferno Titan, Grave Titan. And we're also playing an honorary Titan as Ruric Thar as well, just because he's one of my favourite creatures in Modern. So, if you didn't watch the original video, don't worry, I will take you through it, whilst I also explain the new cards we've got in the list as well. So the deck is functionally a very traditional 5-colour zoo deck that you play in Modern. You've got Ragavan, Wild Nacatl, you curve that into Neoshiba Brawler, Kavu, and Sign of Draco. And then, whilst you're beating your opponent down, they're having to burn every removal spell they have, trying to kill all your dudes. You can then sacrifice your Sign of Draco with a Eldritch Evolution and cheat into play some huge creatures. The creature that we originally were cheating in was Progenitus. Protection from everything is pretty obnoxious and very hard to beat. But there are also a bunch of other different things that we can cheat into play as well. If we have a 2-drop, we can go into an Omnath. Omnath is the best 4-drop in the format. But when we start going above 4 mana is where we get the real spice. You can sacrifice an Omnath, go into a Fury, raft their board, into a Sun Titan, a Grave Titan, an Inferno Titan. There's absolutely ridiculous cards that you can cheat into play in Modern. It almost feels like you're playing a cube deck against your opponent. And the huge creatures in this deck aren't just limited to the main deck. The spice continues in the board. We're talking Iona to stop your opponent from even being able to cast spells. Sarah's Emissary, so we can just have protection from whatever your opponent's win condition is. Platinum Empyrean, so these burn players can just never kill us. And we're also using the standard stuff like Lavinia to just stop rhinos from working, or Gadok Teague to stop creativity. I also want to say a massive thank you for all of the feedback and all the likes, comments and everything that I got on my last video where we debuted this deck. In the first week that this deck video came out, I got more likes, comments, subscriptions, everything in that first week, more than my entire channel did from last year. So an absolutely overwhelmingly positive review from the last video. So I just want to say a massive thank you. If you guys have more cards that you think I should play in the deck, keep suggesting them, because the more you suggest, the more I'll keep playing. So let's continue back off from where the last video finished. I took you through the journey of how I managed to brew up this deck and the thought processes behind the cards and things like that. So the Progenitus that we play to cheat into play, I think is really sweet, and I'm really happy with that as our best possible case scenario. But I think our 6-drop could do with a bit of work. So last video we were playing with Broodmate Dragon. Whilst Broodmate Dragon is really sweet, I think we can do a lot better. And you guys have given some excellent suggestions. You've said things like Wormcoil Engine, the Titans, Ruric Thar, all sorts of different creatures. So from this video, what we're going to do is we're going to take the exact suggestions that you guys put in the comment section, and we're going to try them out in the 6-drop slot and see how they perform. Do we keep this hand? I think so. Really don't like hands like this, but you need your Kavu to survive for 1 turn, and then it's very hard for your opponent to beat it. So we'll lead off with what do we want to go for? Let's just go fetch a Triumph. The reason we're going to go fetch a Triumph instead of playing the one in our hand, which seems like the obvious play, is because we can cycle this later. So if you've got a land heavy hand, if you can keep the Triumph and just try and save it for later on, you can cycle it later and get a new card. Whereas if we play it on turn 1, then we can't cycle a fetch land later, you know? Well, they're going to Thoughtseize us. They just shock straight away. Very aggressive. That to me suggests they are either trying to get their life total low, so for like Grixis Death Shadow, or they're just an absolute lunatic. Who knows? Maybe they just want to keep up mana for something. Maybe Fatal Push. Well, we've drawn Progenitus, not ideal. Being as our opponent has got up mana and they've done that very strangely, I don't want to lose this to Fatal Push. So I think we're just going to play this, get a Temple Garden tapped later at the end of their turn, and then we can untap with Stubborn Denial up. Okay, so the opponent is Doing some weird stuff over there. Yeah, we're gonna probably counter that. I think that's a good counter target. We don't mind them taking the damage, of course, but drawing 2 cards is not ideal. So let's go ahead and get a Temple Garden here. Do we worry about Blood Moon? What are we missing? White and green, so it would be Temple Garden. So we can just get this Plains and then play Breeding Pool next turn. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll draw a different 2-drop. No, but we draw an Omnath. That's pretty good. I don't know how much of in a hurry I am to kill our opponent, and I kind of want to just slow roll this Kavu, but now we've drawn the Omnath, I don't feel the need to. Or we can play this Omnath, I think. Sorry, I'll play Omnath next turn, because obviously we've got a Tri-land in hand. Yeah, opponent being... I think they could be on, like, Scam. Scam plays things like Night's Whisper now. This land is just a very, very strange land to run. Not many people play filter lands, especially not the black-red one. Opponent is doing nothing. Okay, sure. We draw Foothills. So we can just shock here. We've got green, white, red, blue. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Red, white, no. Green, blue. There we go. Play Omnath. So they can't fail push it unless they have a fetch or something. What have they got for 2 mana? Terminate? Yeah, sure. That's fine. We'd rather keep our Kavu around. Oh, we drew Fury, which is pretty sweet. We can hardcast a Fury as well. So our evolution target coming in strong here just by being able to cast it because the game's gone on quite long. Opponent plays a Blackleaf Cliffs. Sure. They are definitely up to some mid-rangey stuff over there. Pyromancer, that's fine. See what they throw away. So they can discard up to 2 cards. They discard another Pyromancer and a Bolt. Okay. They don't really know what we're on, actually. They've only seen an Omnath and a Stubborn Denial, so they might not think we're like an early Zoo deck. And I think we're just going to cast this Fury, right? Fury just seems really good here. Kills all of their tokens and their Pyromancer, and we get left with a big dude. I don't know what we need. Let's just go with Temple Garden. Okay, we'll play it tapped. Green, white, play the Brawler. I didn't realize we didn't have a second red. But that is okay. We've got plenty of other stuff to do. We'll play both of our dudes. One of them will probably die, but... I suppose another option was to pitch Progenitus to this Fury, but I don't really want our Progenitus to be exiled. I'd like it to be in our deck or go into our graveyard and then go back into our deck, so we can evolution for it later. There's something about playing on Modo where it's just so easy to just click things without even thinking. Like in real life, you're searching for your land base, you put the land you want on top of your deck, or like, you know, you're flicking through your cards, you put it at the front, you then look at your mana base, make sure that makes sense, and then you put it into play and you're like, yeah, great, for when you fetch. But just on Arena, you just click on one that's bright coloured, and I don't know, at least that's what I do. Clearly it doesn't work. What do we got to draw? An Arid Mesa. Okay, we have been saved by our deck. Let's go ahead, fetch a red source. Definitely fetch a red source. Yes, the events will do. We'll go red, red, and keep up blue for the Stubborn Denial. So we will just hard cast this Fury, take out all their dudes, and then we can swing for 5. 1, 1, 2. That is perfect. I think this might be the first time I've ever cast a Fury. Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever cast Fury in Modern. Played against it a lot, but it's not a card I very often play. So we've got Stubborn Denial back up here. We are looking very, very well off. I don't know if our opponent is on Scam or just generic red-black mid-range, because they haven't played any Scam creatures. We haven't seen any Reanimate spells, like the 1-mana Reanimate spells, which I assume if they had, they would have pitched to Seasoned Pyromancer. Ah, here we go. Here's the Grief. Unfortunately, the way this works is the trigger on Grief will be on the stack when they cast this. Sorry, this will be the Evoke trigger will be on the stack, and then they can reanimate this. So if they did it, if they now responded with their Reanimate spell, we could Stubborn Denial it, but obviously they wait for this to resolve. Oh, they've hard cast it. Shit, never mind. I forgot we've got to that point of the game. That's 6, that's 11 damage, so we bolt and maybe they just die? Do you have removal, opponent? You got 2 spells, one of them has to be removal here. Okay, they don't, sweet. On to sideboarding, so I'm pretty sure we're against Scam, it just was a very strange game. Oh, here we go. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. So that includes the pitch elementals. So I think we do want that. Other than that, maybe we just need forces to stop the reanimate. Oh, no, Rest in Peace does that too, right? So we'll bring those in. And what do we not need against them? All of these look great. We can... I guess Bolt's not hugely important. And we'll keep 1. Yeah, we'll try that out. Rest in Peace means that their creatures obviously don't come back when they get reanimated. Sure, we'll keep this. This could be an interesting game. We've got our curve of Nakato into Brawler, and then potentially a turn 3 evolution. Go find a Omnath, and then after Omnath we can try and cast, which I really want to do or get into play, is an Inferno Titan. That would be really sweet to get in play. In this matchup we probably would prefer, I think, one of the other Titans, but we'll see. You never know what happens. Depends on what the board situation is like. If they have a bunch of tokens, then perhaps not. So we'll just go ahead, get a Temple Garden, shock, and play our Wild Nakato. So on turn 2, we are going to choose to play the Brawler over the Kavu. That might seem really weird because Brawler is significantly weaker than Kavu. And the reason that we're going to do that is because if they have a Fury and you play a turn 2 Kavu with double shocks, it dies to Fury. So we'll play the Brawler, we'll bait out the Fury, and then we'll use the Kavu later on. Okay, so they play a Voidwalker here. So if a card would put into our graveyard, exile it, and then they can tap it to sacrifice it, and exile a card. I'm sorry, and play one of the exiled cards. So they get out of fetch land. We can get Steam Vents, or we can actually just go ahead and get the Triome, skip this turn, but then we can play Draco. Yeah, we're going to do that. So we need Grixis. The Voidwalker's got Shadow, which is a very, very strange keyword. It basically is if... it's not even artifacts, is it? No. It's basically just unblockable, but also can't block. Unless the other creature has got Shadow, which the only card you're ever going to play against that has Shadow is another Dothri Voidwalker. It might as well just say can only block and be blocked by itself. Ooh, Blood Moon's pretty good against us. Okay. It's not game over, but it is very, very hard to beat. In fact, actually, is there a way we can beat it? We can hit our opponent with Ragavans, get treasures, and then Teferi bounce it. Fury. Well, that doesn't really help us right now. We just hit our opponent for 2. I don't see how we can get out of this. But we'll keep fighting and we'll see what we can draw. Let's see our sideboard. Is there anything that we need to change now that we know they've got Blood Moon? We're going to be bringing in our Outland Liberator and our Knight of Autumn. I think both. They play a Pyromancer, that's fine. So we can get some good Fury value out of all these tokens if they make tokens. They discard a Grief and a Blood Moon. Sure. So we are just racing our opponent. Unfortunately, they've got a faster clock than us. What do we got? An Omnath. Yeah, this game is not going anywhere. Obviously, we can board wipe these, race our opponent with them hitting us for 3, us hitting them for 2, but eventually they are going to win that. There's just nothing else we can draw in the deck. See what? No, Moto's just going to crash. Alright, it doesn't really matter. So we'll bring the Outland Liberator, and I think we just play the Forces maybe, and then just really, really try not to let Blood Moon resolve. Other than that, what do we cut? We can cut Teferi. Teferi is good to have in play because then you know if they play a Blood Moon you can bounce it, so actually kind of like keeping that. Maybe we just don't bother with the Forces and we just hope for the best. Yeah, we'll try that and we'll cut 1 card, which is going to be on the play. We don't need 2 Rest in Peace. So we definitely want to go first. Again, another 1-lander. No, we can't keep this. It's a shame because if we draw 2 lands, then we have the combo, which is awesome, but we might not draw those. Oh, this hand is even worse because we've got the Ragavan, but it can't do anything. No, we're not keeping that. Okay, this hand is actually better. So, put 2 cards to the bottom. I think it's going to have to be Fury. And a land. Yeah, we'll do that. Our turn 2 will depend on what our opponent is up to, but it will probably be a Draco just because it plays around Fatal Push better. We probably want to get the Abzan land first. So we'll go, I think it's Abzan. I can never remember which triomes are in the deck. So Blood Crypt, they shock for 2. If they just pass, we'll just slam a Draco because we know it plays around Fatal Push. Oh, that's no fun. Are we just gonna get absolutely scammed out here? They got the if they got the card to reanimate it. Oh no. Okay, so they take the Kavu, evoke trigger on the stack, they bring it back, and they take a Draco as well. Okay, this game is very, very close to being over. We've got a turn 2 Draco, and that is it. Like, literally that is it. So, yeah, I think we want to go for the Triome, the green one. We just want to get as many untapped green sources in our, keep as many untapped green sources in our deck. So we don't go for the other Triome and then go into Temple Garden. We want the Temple Garden deck because we need to draw more green sources for an Eldritch Evolution. I think an Eldritch Evolution is our most realistic way out of this game. Okay, well, things are going to plan. All we need now is to top deck our Eldritch Evolution. It is Steam Vents that goes with this. We will shock. Okay, we'll play a Draco. We can use this to go get the Temple Garden. And yeah, we're just going to top deck Eldritch Evolution. We're going to put Progenitus in play, and it's going to be easy games. At least that's the plan. If not, our opponent kills this Draco, and we probably just die. Oh, it looks like they don't have the removal spell. We are not blocking. It has Menace, so we can't anyway. Come on, easy Eldritch Evolution. You got it. You can Thoughtseize us all you want. Easy Eldritch Evolution, come on. Well, we'll play the land. Pretty sure they don't have an answer to this Draco, which is good. We don't have very much time though, that's the problem. Opponent plays a basic mountain. Yep. Blood Moon's not too bad against us now. Okay, so they've got the young Pyromancer. Sorry, seasoned Pyromancer, not young Pyromancer. They ditch a Ragavan. Wow, okay. We'll just go get a Temple Garden. Tapped, I think. Yeah. We'll take the 4, and it's getting to the point now where we're just going to have to, if we draw a red card, we're just probably going to have to snap this Fury off. We're still probably going to die to that though, that's the problem. Oh my god, we put the Evolution. I think that's game. So we attack our opponent, put them to 8. We then Evolution, turn it into Progenitus. Progenitus can block this. And they hit us for 5 and we just have to dodge a bolt. Are we doing it? Or do we get Inferno Titan? Is that safer? So, if they have Bolt, then we want to get Inferno Titan. No, we die to Bolt regardless because of Grief. No, because we can use Inferno Titan to kill Grief. Oh my god, I don't know which ones. They're both good options. Do we play around Terminate or do we play around Bolt? Oh my god, this is so close. I think we have to get Inferno Titan. Yeah, we'll get Inferno Titan. Inferno Titan's going to kill this Grief. And then if it survives, we can deal 3, kill both of these, pump it. Oh, we can only pump it once. Do they have an answer to Inferno Titan? I can't believe we're playing Inferno Titan in, now what, 2023? This is hilarious. If we draw a red source, that is just game, I think. Let's just get rid of this. We draw a Brawler. Okay, well, let's just attack. Trigger Inferno Titan. We'll deal 3 and 1. Hit our opponent for 6 here. In fact, we can pump it as well. Hit our opponent for 7, and then we'll play a Brawler. Oh my god. And then we'll play the Neoshiba Brawler. And we'll pass the turn. And I think it's Damnation or Bust for our opponent here. Maybe Terminate plus Fatal Push. Oh my god, they didn't have it. That was absolutely fantastic. So there you have it, guys. Inferno Titan in Modern. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, we're going to have to go ahead and mulligan that. So we're getting our mulliganed hand. This is much better. We'll go ahead and keep... What do we put back? So we're going to put back the Breeding Pool. And we are going to do what we came here to do, which is to cast zoo creatures and then an Eldritch Evolution. Oh, opponent has chosen Giant. Oh, okay, we're against Amulet. This is a very fast matchup. Glad that we do have the Stubborn Denial. That can be really good in this matchup, so let's go ahead. We will Shock. We will play a Ragavan, and we're just going to hope that they do not have a good blocker, which is very, very likely that they do. What could they have? They can play the 2/4 Dryad, they can play a Zeusa, they can play Arboreal Grazer, and they might just have the turn 2 kill here. Okay, probably not. If that was a bounce land, that was very possible that they could just kill us. They could just go like bounce land, make 4 mana, Azusa, go up to 5 mana. I guess maybe not kill us. Okay, that was a good draw. So we want to go Flooded Strand and attack with Ragavan. So this Ragavan giving us the treasure means that our Kavu next turn, sorry, our Kavu is going to make our Stubborn Denial a hard counter, which is huge here. We hit Steve off our opponent. We're not really looking to do that, so let's go ahead and fetch. And we'll get a Temple Garden here. Temple Garden. We will Shock and play a 4/4. So next turn our Kavu is a 5/5 because we got the Blood Crypt. But yeah, it depends on what our opponent does. We might not see another turn. I don't know what we're waiting for. There's nothing they can really do. Okay, so Steve is gone forever. Sorry, Steve. I love that cards. This card still sees modern play. So they play Teleria West, get 2 mana. They haven't got any green mana. This is a very, very strange start for our opponent. Double Amulet is like often you're dead on turn 3, or if not turn 2. So I have no idea what is going on in this game. Teferi. Is Teferi good? Let's go Blood Crypt, Shock. I guess we swing first, see what happens. There's not really anything our opponent could have. So we'll attack. I guess we loot, but what do we loot? I think we just loot this Teferi. There's nothing we want with Teferi, is there? Not really. Yeah, we'll get rid of Teferi. We hit another evolution. That might make things interesting then, because we can evolution our Kavu into an Omnath, and then next time we can Eldritch our Omnath into a Ruric Thar, and that's pretty hard for our opponent to beat. So I guess we do the Omnath now. Green and anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we get Ruric Thar in play, our opponent is really going to struggle to beat us. Oh yeah, we get free draw, and we played a land, right? Yeah. I guess we just pass. Perhaps it was a misplay there then, because instead if we had not played the Blood Crypt, Jesus Christ, a third one. Yeah, we'll counter. I don't know how impactful the third one is actually going to be when you've already got 2 in play, but I'd rather not find out. I can't believe we're still alive. This is the strangest game I've seen against Amulet before. Alright, so let's go begin combat. Let's crack them in for 6. I assume they're not going to have anything to respond with. I think our opponent is just missing a green source. This would be one of those matchups where maybe a Magus of the Moon would be good in the board. Obviously, it really messes us up, but if you can mess your Amulet player up even more, maybe it's worth it to evolution into. Okay, sweet. What do we get from Ragavan? If we get Prime Time, we can even cast it if we wanted to. Azusa. So, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain 4 life. If this is the first time this ability has resolved, if it's the second, you get the mana. If it's the third, you deal 4 damage to each opponent. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 land drops. So, we can't trigger all this evolution for another one and do it again with the Azusa. So, what we're going to do is green, whatever, green, evolution, sack the Omnath, go get a, wherever it is, there is the Ruric Thar. Oh my god, I was worried there. We'll play another land, and I think that should be it. Yeah, our opponent's just put in the chat, not drawing a single land in a 33 land deck, sad face. That does suck. But also you kept a Amulet hand with no green source. So like, I don't know how much you can blame that on the deck and how much you can just, I guess double Amulet and a Titan probably keep with just a Cavern, but it happens, right? Each opponent can't cast non-creature spells with the mana value greater than the number of lands they control. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter it. So it turns off their packs. That's about it, though. Yeah, so I think we probably do bring them in then. Your opponent can't cast non-creature spells with mana value greater. Yeah, there's nothing that's going to counter. I think it's mainly just going to be they can't summon as packed, which is probably good enough. Like, it's better than Teferi. And we probably need these for Amulet, right? How many would be correct? Do we want Platinum Angel? No, because they can go tutor for the Beseiju. And if they can't tutor for Beseiju, or if they can put it into play with the Prime Time, they can then go get a bounce land and bounce it and then blow this up. So, what do we not want? Yeah, I think we want Forces. Just stop their Amulet, stop their shenanigans. And then I think we just go low to the ground. So, cut the Omnaths. We probably still play one, actually. Cut the Renegade Rallier. Not a fan of Bolt. It kills the Zeusa, but that's about it. And then... Sure. Alright, we can keep 2 in. I don't think we want Flusterstorms and Forces. Maybe that's overkill. Yeah, Flusterstorm doesn't even stop the Amulet. So, I think we're going to go with that. Galactique does not help. Yep. We'll see how that goes. Opponent on the play. They have a double Amulet hand again. This is going to be rough. Yeah, this hand is fine. We'll go ahead and keep. Obviously, the Force isn't doing anything, but we've got plenty of time to draw a green spell. Sorry, a blue spell. I think our hand would be a bit greedy to pitch. Opponent leads off with a turn 1 Amulet again. They are absolutely loving life with their Amulet draws. I guess just not their green sources. So let's go Temple Garden. Does it matter which one? Not really. Yeah, let's go ahead. Fetch. Temple Garden. Pay the 2 life. Play a cat. And we are on Cat Tribal at the moment. We've got Wild Nacatls and Brawlers, which are both cats. I really wanted to play, there's a, I want to say it's called like Regal something. I'll put it up on the screen if I remember to. But it's like a cat lord, which I think would be really funny to play. Oh, Jesus Christ. Our opponent's going to get 3 mana on turn 2, which means they... Okay, still nothing. Guess we just go. We've got two options really. We play the Brawler and attack for 3, or we play the Cat and play the Tri-Land, and then next turn we can Evolution if we want to, but I think we just want to get the Brawler and play. So we'll go ahead and get a Steam Vents here. Steam Vents, we will pay the 2. We'll whack our opponent for 3. Then we can play our 4, but soon to be 5 power Cat. The Neo Shiba Brawler. Is it Neo Shiba? No, it's Nishoba. I don't know how you pronounce magic cards. They're made up languages anyway. Green and anything. Yeah, we'll play the Cat. We've got Force backup. And then if we don't have to do it, then we have 2 counter spells, which is even better. I would much prefer to have to untap and keep the Stubborn Denial, but we have to see what our opponent does. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mana now to play with. Wow, our opponent's had like really weird starts. I feel like they should have just been mulliganing. Let's go play this tapped. Play a Cat, and now we've got Stubborn Denial with Force of Negation backup. So our opponent is pretty much going to have to prime time. It's very hard in this deck to have a balance of how many counter spells you want, because the counter spells are by far the best card against creativity. They're by far the best card against Team of Rhinos, but if you draw 1 too many and you actually want more creatures, they are just terrible. So it's really tough. Sure, so this puts them up to 5, so they can then activate this and go up to 6 mana, so they can cast a prime time. Yeah. We could just be dead here then, right? These are all non-creature. They have Cavern anyway, so like it's very plausible that we just never get to counter this, even if we did have mana leaks or something like that. Sure, so they've got a prime time. They go get the one that gives haste and the red white land, I think it is. Wait, what? Like that was not what I was expecting. So they've gone for Urza's Saga and Radiant Fountain. So they didn't have the kill. And they are going to try and grind us out. It's a very interesting choice. Radiant Fountain really makes you feel like they are grasping at straws. So we can attack here for 6, put them to 5, and we lose our Brawler. And then we Eldritch Evolution the Cat, go get Rallier, bring back the Brawler. Is that the best option? Probably not. Or we could turn this Brawler into a Omnath, but Omnath doesn't really help. So I think we are gonna swing in with everything. We're going to lose the Brawler, but then we'll turn Renegade Rallier. We'll turn this Wild Knockout to a Renegade Rallier, which will bring this back. Sweet. So green. Oh, we should probably fetch correctly first. Breeding Pool. Yes. Green, green, anything. Evolution, turn this Cat into... Shit, we took it out, didn't we? Did we take it out? I mean, we must have, right? Use sideboard. There is the Renegade Rallier. That's fine. It's better, I guess, to have a Brawler than a Cat anyway. Yeah, that was a pretty big misplay. They can make a blocker now, which is going to be a 2/2. What else have they got? A Growth Chamber, sure. So now they're going to bounce the Radiant Fountain. So they're going to start gaining 2 life every other turn. If they can keep getting Growth Chambers. And then they're going to probably use this Urza Saga to go get a Shadow Spear, stick it on the prime time, and just gain life till we can't beat it. Cultivator Colossus. Alright, we might be in some trouble here. So if you haven't seen this card, I don't blame you. It's a very strange card, but its power and toughness is equal to how many lands you control. But its ETB is, when it's battlefield, you may put a land from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. So a deck with 33 lands means that they play a land, they draw a card, they probably draw another land, they play that. If you've got like 2 or 3 lands in hand and you draw 3 cards, you're probably going to draw another couple more lands, and it basically they end up putting like 5 or 6 lands in play. And because it says they come in tapped, Amulet of Vigor untaps them all. And they just get a shed load of triggers. Yep. I think we're going to need a Progenitus to be able to get ourselves out of this one. Because they now have a 9/9 and a 6/6. And when this prime time attacks, it's going to trigger as well. Oh, the Summoning Pact. Well, we can go ahead and counter that. Oh shit, I didn't mean for that one to resolve. I thought they were going to the next main phase. Sure. Alright, we'll just go to the next one. What do we want to change? We probably want that Renegade Rallier back. And I think that's it. We need to take a card out. I think Lavinia does just stops packs, but it also stops well, that is about it, isn't it? Alright, we'll cut down to one of those then. And we'll bring the Renegade Rallier back. We definitely need to go first. And this hand is okay. It's not terribly fast, and that's the problem. Against Amulet, you do need to be fast or have interaction. We've got a turn 1 Ragavan. If it hits, then next time we can play Kavu Cattle. Yeah, sure. We'll keep this. It should be fast enough. Like, unless they play the 0/3 that lets them put a land into play, then we should be fine. Arboreal Grazer. Arboreal Grazer would be very, very annoying because it stops our Ragavan from getting in. So we're going to get a Steam Vents and then Temple Garden, which we can do either way around with our lands. Steam Vents, pay the 2. Opponent leads up with a Radiant Fountain, sure. Into an Amulet again. That's been every single game they've gone turn 1 Amulet. Must be good to be them, right? Another Ragavan. So let's just hit our opponent, see what we find. I can't imagine there's anything in their deck we would cast. What do we get? A Simic Growth Chamber, sure. So let's go ahead and get a Temple Garden. That gives us 4 out of 5 on Domain. But more importantly, we can now play a Kavu and a Wild Nacatl this turn, which is a hell of a lot of power to put on the board. So now we've got 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10 power next time, because we're gonna, well, I assume we might not find a black source, to be fair. So So opponent goes up to 3 mana now. If they have an Azusa, we could be in some serious trouble. Okay, just to Steve. And they're just passing the turn back, so they're going to use Steve to block the Kavu probably. We do hit another land drop, which means we can pump this Kavu a bit bigger. We should probably try playing a Kusari Pride Mage in the deck, or some sort of creature that ETBs and blows up stuff. I think a Kusari Pride Mage, a Reclamation Sage, something like that would go a long way. I guess we attack and see what we can loot away. Loot into, sorry, obviously we'll get rid of the Ragavan. A Draco would be really nice to have in play, giving our creatures trample. So we'll discard a card. Goodbye Ragavan into a force. Yeah, not really looking to force this turn. I think they might have misclicked there because they didn't take the damage. Oh no, they might be waiting for next turn to use it. If they have another amulet, then that does then make them have 2 mana. Okay, is there anything we want to do? We could play the Dryad if we wanted to. Don't think that helps us. I think we're just gonna play another Kavu. Let's go red, green, play the Kavu, and pass the turn. If we're dead, so be it. So Steve making things come into the battlefield tapped can be an advantage if you have more than one amulet. So if you have one amulet, obviously it's like it comes in untapped, but if you have 2 amulets, it essentially comes in untapped twice. Sure, we can go ahead and fetch end of turn. Oh, that was an error on my part. I forgot to fetch to get the extra damage in. I guess we go for the extra green source in the Endantha Triumph. Untap. And what do we got? We draw the Ruric Thar. Not ideal, but that's fine. We've got 2 Kavus, so we can loot that away. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we need to do first. So discard a card if you do draw a card, and same again. So the first one, we'll get rid of this Ruric Thar. Wait, do we get rid of this Ruric Thar? 1, 2, 3. If we hit with the Ragavan, we could potentially play Ruric Thar next turn. Yeah, I think we're going to get rid of this Evolution, maybe. And then what? I think we're going to get rid of the Brawler. Yeah. We're going to try and hardcast this Ruric Thar in Modern. Okay, so they're going to take 5, 8, 10 here. The other option was we could have kept the Eldritch Evolution, and then if we had Eldritch Evolutioned a 1-drop into a Rallier, we could have brought back a land and guaranteed a Ruric Thar next turn. So that was an option, but I think that's a little bit overkill. I think we'd rather loot into a Bolt potentially, or something like that. Let's just go green. We'll play the cat. We hit an Amulet of Vigor off our opponent, which funnily enough we are not going to be casting. There is... actually, we probably should... Should we have cast that? In case we draw a Triumph next turn? I think it's fine. Here's the prime time. Unfortunately, this is non-creature. One of the matchups where you'd much rather it be creature. So they got the prime time. What are they going to go get? Do they have lethal? 6 goes to 8. 8 is 16. 16 minus the 3. Yeah, they have exactly lethal here. Oh, that sucks. I think they've got it here. They might have drawn the double strike land. Or they might not even play it still. We'll find out. If you're not familiar with the combo, this one gives vigilance and haste, and this land allows you to activate it. So you basically get these two on the ETB. It gives it guaranteed haste, and then when it attacks, you go get another dual land that gives you, I think, like red and white or red and green or something, and then the land that's the equivalent of this that gives double strike, which I'm pretty sure they have. Our opponent is having a think here, so they might not actually use that combo still. Or they might be scared of a Path to Exile or something and seeing if they can figure out anything else. I think if we have a removal spell, they just lose. Fortunately for them, we don't, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they can't play around removal at this point. They've gone for Blast Zone and Simic Chamber, and then they concede. We're on the play. Absolutely brilliant start. Yeah, we will absolutely keep this. We have got turn 1 Ragavan, potentially turn 2 Draco, turn 3 Progenitus. I think that's pretty good, right? Let's lead off with Steam Vents. And we will shock for a cheeky little Ragavan. I think after, or maybe I'll take a break after this video from the evolution list, and maybe we'll try another zoo list that I've got laying around. I've got quite a few different brews. One of my favourite zoo lists I've ever played actually is a Become Immense, Might of Alara, Team of Battle Rage combo deck, and I've had pretty good success with it in the past. So I think I might try that back out again. It's just really fun. It's very consistent. Kill your opponent on turn 3. We've just drawn up Progenitus, which is not ideal, but that's absolutely fine. We have plenty of other good cards to get. We can just go get Sun Titan. In fact, if we're against a mono green deck, we might end up getting Fury. I'd rather get the... Our opponent is playing it. Is there any reason we want to cast this? We could play it, get Renegade Rallier, bring back the Ragavan. No, we still just want a Progenitor. Cheat in a Sun Titan, I think. Oh, that's really funny that our opponent is playing Eldritch Evolution. So we've got the Steam Vent, so we will go with Indantha Triome, and then we are going to pay 2 to cast our Draco. And pass the turn. All we need now is a untapped green source. And fortunately we had the Ragavan in our opening hand, so we didn't, instead of a Wild Cattle, so we didn't have to get a green shock land, which just gives us one more potential land to go get. So I think our opponent is on maybe some sort of Heliod combo or Yawgmoth combo. I think this is Yawgmoth, now that we've seen this. Opponent pays the 1 life and the treasure. Okay, yeah, so it is standard Heliod. Sorry, not Heliod, Yawgmoth. Wait, do they play both? I don't think they do. I think it's just green-black. Another Draco. Well, our Ragavan has first strike, so it might actually just get in here. If our opponent doesn't want to put something in front of it, okay, they're happy to. That's very reasonable, but yeah, it does have first strike from the Draco. So we give them a bit of an upgrade, but that's not the end of the world. Hit our opponent down to 14, and I think we're just going to play another Draco. We could play the Brawler, but I don't really see a big advantage to doing that. Can our opponent kill us if they have the right cards? No, you need a sack outlet and a Yawgmoth, right? So they can't play both of those in the same turn. I think Yawgmoth's 4 mana. What have you got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they've got the Yawgmoth. This is very scary at this point. We have to kill this Yawgmoth, I think. How can we kill it? We can evolution a Draco into a Fury. That is about it. Oh, have they got it already? Oh, no, they have to pay life to do so. Oh, no, they've actually got it. Okay, I didn't realize they had it. For some reason, I didn't realize... Wait, what? Why would they do it that way? Did they not just have the combo? Oh no, they can't gain infinite life, can they? Because they have to pay one, so they don't actually have the combo here. Okay, thank God for that. So we just need to draw a green source here. Perfect. We attack for 8. We can't kill them. But we can just kill the Yawgmoth here. Is there anything better? How do we lose? They need to draw another way to gain life. As soon as they find another way to gain life, they would win. So yeah, we're just gonna have to go get a Fury, kill this Yawgmoth. Doesn't matter which one. I guess Breeding Pool's probably better. Green, green, anything. Eldritch Evolution. We'll get rid of this, and Fury's got to be the best option, right? Is Sun Titan better? No. Okay, alright, we're going for Fury. And when this creature dies, if it had no 1/1 counters on it... Okay, so we have to go for the Yawgmoth here. Because otherwise they can put the counter on it and then it ends up being a net neutral, right? I'm pretty sure you have to kill the Yawgmoth there. So now it's got first strike and double strike. But they're now dead to the Draco in the air. So that should be, unless they have the combo or a way to gain some amount of life. They've got another Yawgmoth. Okay, so they gain the life, but they still don't have infinite damage because they have to pay 1 life. They need to get another one of these in play. God, this Yawgmoth deck is so much better than people give it credit, including me. I never give this deck credit for how good it is, but it's very strong. They are going to now have to block with the Geist, but then they're going to remove the counter so it'll come back. So they don't really lose anything there. It's a shame that Fury doesn't get trampled from Draco, instead it gets first strike, because it's just a waste of the Draco keyword, because it's already got double strike. So they're going to pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. Oh, they can't keep doing it. Okay, that's... I really don't understand how this combo works, apparently, because I'm very, very confused. Let's go with green and whatever. Play the Brawler. And now I'm pretty sure they are dead next turn. But I'm very, very confident they will be able to kill us. There are so many different options that they could use to kill us here. Collector Company is very likely. Chord of Cooling. They probably don't even play Coco, actually, because Yawgmoth you can't hit. Okay, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bop is fine. Gain a bit of life. Do they have it? Oh, this is so tense. I just never know when I'm going to die to this deck. Okay, another bop. Gain a little bit more life. Have a little bit more chump blocking. Are they going to use this to kill the Draco? 1, 2. Why would you not just do that first? Surely they should have done that first. Okay. So a bolt off the top wins. Come on, what do we got? An Eldritch Evolution. What can we do with that? Not a whole lot yet. We could turn this Brawler into a Omnath. We could turn Fury into Sun Titan. Sun Titan can then bring back a land, and then we can play Omnath next turn. Let's just attack and see what's going on, I think. We need more stuff with Trample. Maybe we just go turn this Fury into a Brawler. How ridiculous would that be? Okay, so they block there. They're going to have to block the Brawler with something. And they're going to have to block the Fury. Unless they want to start putting -1/-1 counters on the Brawler. Opponent in a really tough spot, but again, they are so close to the combo, it's unreal. Okay, so they're going to do this, and then... Oh, wow. Do they have another Yawgmoth in hand? They must do, right? They can put a -1/-1 counter, or are they going to try and put 2 on it? You have to be a very, very good player to play this deck efficiently. There are so many lines of play. It's just incredibly difficult to play this deck. Okay. So they kill our Brawler. Opponent is on 2. Do we have anything that can do 2 on an ETB trigger? No, we don't. This is, again, Inferno Titan would have been great here. Siege Rhino would have been sweet. What do we do? Eldritch Evolution gets Sun Titan. Sun Titan brings back Neo Shiba Brawler. I think that's going to be the play. So green, anything. Eldritch Evolution. Wait, do we sack Fury? Fury can go up to 7. So 7 is enough for... Yeah. We're actually going to chain up and go into Sun Titan. So Sun Titan returns anything with 3 or more. So we'll go for Sun Titan. And Sun Titan will bring back Neo Shiba Brawler, and our opponent is probably blinking a lot right now, thinking, what the fuck is going on? But hey, if you come to this channel, that is what you come to expect. If we say we're going to play Sun Titan, we will play Sun Titan. If we say we're going to bring in Progenitus, we're going to bring in Progenitus. So if you want to see ridiculous cards like this played in Modern, feel free to subscribe, because this is what you come to expect on this channel. Sometimes we'll play tier 1 decks, and then sometimes we will play a Sun Titan. Wait, what am I saying? This is obviously a tier 1 deck. What tier 1 deck doesn't cheat in Sun Titan and Progenitus and also play Wild Cow, you know? Murktide can't do that. Rhinos can't do that. Okay, they've got the Young Wolf. So again, they can now do that infinite times, but they don't have an ETB to do anything with. Oh no, they've got Grist, okay. So they can sack a creature, destroy something. So goodbye Sun Titan or goodbye Draco? Oh no, lovely Sun Titan unfortunately has been destroyed. It was great while it lasted. Opponent is out of ways to block this Draco, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know their deck well enough to understand how they... to be honest, I can't understand their deck well enough on what their best out is, but things are looking pretty good for us, I think. What have we got? Nacatl. So we can Nacatl Brawler this turn, and they'll both have Trample because of the Draco. Well, we are going to swing with both. I just can't believe we didn't have Progenitors in our deck. That would have been absolutely amazing. Do we kill Grist? No. I think we're so close to killing our opponent that we don't bother anymore. Their life is such a resource because of Yawgmoth. So they can block that. They're currently taking 1 trample damage. They're going to do some sort of shenanigans. I don't know what it will be, but they're definitely going to do something here. Oh. Okay, so they're going to pay the green, pay 2 green. Do they have Chord here? Or Dismember? I have absolutely no idea what's going on here. Our opponent is adding mana to their pool and keeps paying life and then unpaying life. Okay, sure. So they're going to shrink our Cyno Draco even more. This is now the same amount of damage though. So they're going to have to sacrifice something else. Yeah, they are sacking something else here. They sacrifice their Young Wolf. They are really running low here on ways to kill us. They've got 4 cards in hand. Does this draw them a card or something? I just completely missed that part of this card. I did not realize it draws cards. I just thought it was the first 2 parts. Okay, well that explains how they keep having so many damn cards in there in play. And they've just got rid of absolutely everything. Are they going to do it again? They can't do it again. What are they doing now? Chord for 1 or 0 is that? Oh, they've got a Young Wolf. So they can do this another time and kill the Draco. Oh my god, this deck is so complicated. I think I might have to just start playing this Yawgmoth deck. Just so I understand how to play against it. I wouldn't put it on the channel because I wouldn't want to put you guys through watching me very, very poorly pilot a a green-black deck. But I think that might be one of the options we have to do. I have to do to learn the deck. So we want Emissary because I think protection from creatures just stops their combo, right? I'm pretty sure it does. Rest in Peace absolutely stops them. Gadok Teague stops Chord of Cooling, that's pretty nice. Lavinia, opponents cast spells with no mana. They're not doing that. Each opponent can't cast spells where their mana value is more than the number of lands they control. So they can't do things like Chord for something big, but by attacking all their dudes, but that's not very, very relevant. What do we not want against our opponent? I don't think we want Stubborn Denial. It seems like it doesn't counter enough. I think we just need to be more aggressive. Teferi's not great, but at least it bounces a dude, like it bounces a Yawgmoth or something. Stubborn Denial literally hits Grist, and no, it doesn't hit Grist, because Grist is only a creature in play, right? No, no, it's yeah, sorry, it's a creature on the stack, I think. I think that's how it works. So I don't think you can stubborn denial it. If you do know the answer, please let me know, because I genuinely don't know how that comes up. Like, same with Force of Negation. Can you Force of Negation a Grist? I don't think so, because it's a creature, right? Alright, we'll run this. Need to put a clock on our opponent again. There could have possibly been a way out of it for them, but I just don't know how their deck works with enough certainty to be able to say if they played well or not. I have no idea. There's probably like one Yawgmoth person that like absolutely loved the decks that was like screaming on how the opponent could win, but I have no idea, I'm sorry. We've got turn 1 Xander's Lounge, turn 2 Draco, or we can go turn 1 Wild Nacatl. Turn 1 Wild Nacatl doesn't seem great here. If we're going to turn 2 play a tapped land, we might as well just do it the other way around and play a Draco. Okay, Birds of Paradise. You got it. And we draw an Eldritch Evolution. Even more reason for us to get this Draco in play. I think we will probably be doing a turn 2 Fury. Kill their Bird of Paradise and whatever 2-drop they play, or even 3-drop. If it's a Wall of Roots, that would be annoying, because we can't kill a Wall of Roots. 2 mana. Thoughtseize. Sure. Our hand is open. Take what you like. They take Fury. Okay. And they play an Undying Wolf. Cool. So we can now go land Draco. So we have to get a Temple Garden here. And yeah, we'll play, I think we just play Draco. We can't just sit around and do nothing. Draco's really good. The other option would be something like Nacatl and Bolt, which is reasonable. But I mean, if we draw an untapped land, we can just go Evolution and then possibly just win the game on the spot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we name creature, as long as Grist is on the battlefield, it's an insect. Yes, you can't stubborn denial it. You can't force it. This sucks because now they can kill our Draco. Really well played by our opponent there. So now they get their dude back. And we are going to have to try and grind through all of their mess. Another evolution. Not ideal. I think we are going to play the Brawler here instead of keeping up Bolt. I think I'd rather play Nacatl next turn. I want a Brawler in play because it has Trample, so we can start putting pressure on this Grist. The longer it stays in play, the more of an issue it's going to become. We could have bolted it, but I think I'd rather use combat damage to kill it. And then save Bolt for something else. Wait, what? Create a 1/1 black insect token, the mill cards. Oh, it only gets Death Touch if you milled an insect. I thought it was only you get the dude if it's an insect, but no. So it only has Death Touch if you milled an insect. Sure. So they get a Yawgmoth here. I don't think we're in terrible danger, at least right now. Because of the Bolt, I think we should be alright. A land would be nice. A Rallier does not help us. Okay, I think we just go swing at the Grist and see what happens. Our opponent knows we've got Bolt. But 5 power with Trample. This is where, for example, Brawler is 100 times better than a Tarmogoyf. Because Tarmogoyf right now would basically be a dead card. It would just never get through the Grist because they just make a token every time. Trample is such a valuable keyword. What is our opponent going to do then? We could have bolted this to get it in the bin actually. Maybe that would have been better. Because now they can... Oh, they have enough one, I know. Okay, well now it feels great that we didn't bolt the the young wolf. So they need to have a dude that gains them life, really, don't they? If we wanted to kill that young wolf, the chance to do it would have been with their Undying trigger on the stack, and then they would have to sack the token to do this again. But I don't think they're doing anything broken just yet. Okay, they got Scoos. They can exile one. They can exile 2 creatures if they want to make it bigger than Bolt. They're putting a -1/-1 counter on our Brawler. Sure. So they're losing life to keep doing this to kill the Brawler, but I think they want to do it because they know we've got an Evolution in hand. Oh, they're not killing it. I thought they would be killing it there, but okay. Is there anything we want to bolt? We can't bolt the Scoos because they can exile 2 creatures. We can bolt the birds, but that seems terrible at this point. No, we'll just go ahead and untap. We draw a Ragavan, which is absolutely dead at this point, I think. Especially with a Yawgmoth in the opponent's play. Let's go undo that, actually. Well, we might as well attack. Don't think there's much. Wait. No, we've got Evolution. Maybe we don't attack. No, I don't think we do. Let's just go Wild Nakato. We'll keep up Bolt because Ragavan does nothing anyway. Like, the Ragavan's never going to hit our opponent. All they have to do is pay 1 life and they can kill the Ragavan essentially, and they'll draw a card. God, this deck is so complicated. And they are going end of turn, exile our Draco, so now is our only time to bolt the Scoos. How much do we want the Scoos dead? I think quite a lot. They know that the path is now clear. They're just going to get rid of 2 cards. I don't know. It does affect us because we have Renegade Rallier, but I don't think they know that. Wait, did they see that? I don't think they've seen the Renegade Rallier. Let's have a look. No, they haven't seen our Renegade Rallier. I'm just going to yield through this. Okay, so they cash in their Scoos. They might as well, right? For a new card. So if you guys are not familiar with Yawgmoth, obviously it's a bit late now, but just to clarify what it does, it's got protection from humans, not relevant for us at all. Pay 1 life, sacrifice another creature, so that's all part of the cost. You can't like bolt one of their creatures in response to counter this, because the sacrifice creature is part of the cost. So pay a life, sacrifice a creature, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, and draw a card. So the reason this is so good is because you can put a -1/-1 counter on a young wolf, and what that does is it removes its Undying counter, and you can basically just keep doing it. So you can keep paying a life to keep killing young wolves, to keep bringing them back, and drawing a bunch of cards. Okay, let's untap, and what do we got? Finally got another land drop. So I think we just want to go land, Renegade Rallier, bring back Brawler. Oh, we don't even need to... Oh yeah, we do need to crack it, because otherwise we don't trigger Revolt. We don't need to get another blue source because of their Yavimaya. So maybe we just go for a... No, we don't need to get a Plains. I guess we get a Steam Vents. Their Yavimaya means that we don't need to worry about getting double green for this game at least. Now do green, green, and... No, I forgot which card we were playing then. Let's try that again. White, anything, green, Renegade Rallier. we'll use this, bring back the Brawler, now that their Scoos is gone. Opponent is potentially going to Chord of Calling for a Scavenging Ooze here, and then use the Scoos to exile it. If they do, that's okay. We're not too worried, we can still Eldritch Evolution. Oh, Endurance, nice. We can still Eldritch Evolution our Renegade Rallier. Fury is gone, but we can go get an Omnath, and then we can turn Omnath into Sun Titan potentially. A nice play by our opponent, but again, we're not too worried. Everyone seems to be playing Endurance now. Such a powerful card. It's a bad time to be a Dredge player, I think it's safe to say. Actually, they could try and kill our Renegade Rallier with Yawgmoth if they want to stop us from bringing dudes back with... Oh, sorry, bringing bigger dudes in with Eldritch Evolution. Maybe that would be better for them. I'm just going to yield. We're not doing anything. So we have... everything there is gone except the evolutions. So they know we've got an Eldritch Evolution in hand, but they don't know that we've got the second. Yeah, that's pretty good. They still need the Soul Sister cards, so the cards that say when something comes into play, gain life. I think if they can get 2 of those in play, they win. Because then they gain 2 every time a creature comes in. So they're just going to make that bigger real quick. And they're just going to attack us for 3. Three mana, 4 mana. Oh, it looks like they're cording here. Yeah, this is cord. Okay, so they're going to cord for 2. What do they get for 2? It's got to be some sort of creature that gains them life. Blood Artist. Okay, good choice. So yeah, now they can sack a dude, put a -1 counter on the other one, and basically just keep swipping and swapping. Swipping and swapping. I don't think that's a phrase that anyone ever uses, but I've made it up now. And that is just lethal. I'm pretty sure that's lethal. I will yield and wait until they've shown me they can do it more than 3 times. I'm pretty sure that's... So you sacrifice one of the... So they sack your Endurance to put a -1 counter on the Young Wolf. Oh yeah, they got the Strangle Root too. Yeah, that's enough for me. Pretty sure that is infinite, right? Yeah. Okay, sideboarding again. Do we need to change anything? We could try and stop them from comboing off. Can they beat a Platinum Empyrean? What could they play? Can't think of anything, but I don't think they can beat Sarah's Emissary either. Each opponent loses 1 life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it says each. I'm gonna quickly Google how Painted Servant work. Not Painted Servant. What's it called? Blood Artist. Blood Artist. I don't know if it's a target player or if it's each opponent. Whenever Blood Artist or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Well, Sarah's Emissary means they can't target us, so that is an infinite combo. It's also a 7-drop, which means you can go up from Fury into it, whereas you can't go from Fury into Platinum Empyrean. Is Empyrean better than... No. I don't think Platinum Empyrean is as good, because Emissary also puts a clock on. Grist can answer both of those creatures. So we definitely need to go first. What have we got? Fortunately, those are the 2 that pair together, so we'll keep this. Very, very fortunate that those 2 pair together. I think if that was not the right shock, this might have had to be a harder decision. But we've got turn 1 Triumph, turn 2 Draco. We can deal with this. If our opponent plays a Birds, I would really want to bolt it, but I think we still have to just play the Draco. And our opponent has been very kind and now made it so that we don't have to worry about casting our Eldritch Evolutions because we now have lots of green lands. We'll play the Steam Vents, pay the 2. And we'll play the Draco. If we top deck an Eldritch Evolution, amazing. If we don't, well, that's fine. We've still got Brawlers, we've got Bolts. Loads of things to do. They play a Blooming Marsh. I don't know if they play Fatal Push. It's very reasonable that they could play Fatal Push. So Sino Draco dodging that could be relevant. They've got another green mana. They've got access to so much mana already. Okay, they're going to play Young Wolf. Their deck just plays like... It feels almost as quick as Hammer of how quickly they can play everything. Yeah, they can't really take too much here. They'd probably take the Bolt. But again, if we draw a Eldritch Evolution, we can just slam at Progenitus. I don't know what's better, Progenitus or Sarah's Emissary. I think Progenitus, because it plays around Grist, but it doesn't play around them comboing off. Come on, Eldritch Evolution. Damn it. They took Omnath, which tells me they don't have the combo. Let's go ahead, hit our opponent for 4. And let's go green, green, play Brawler, keep up Bolt. This also, playing with a Yavimaya or an Urborg in play does also allow you to sandbag all your fetches for when you play an Omnath. So if you play an Omnath, you can then next turn like really easily trigger all 3 of its landfalls just by cracking all the fetches. Which can be fun if you need to deal your opponent some damage. Opponent pays 2/3 mana for Evolution. Sure. What are they turning the Wall of Roots into? I assume a Yawgmoth. Yeah. But they are officially Hellbent. It might have been better to bolt this actually. Yes, that probably was correct. Okay, so they're sacking their Young Wolf to put a -1/-1 counter on the Brawler. Sure. And they can then sack another creature to put a -1 counter on the Young Wolf. But we're trying to keep their life total under pressure, so this Bolt does help a little bit with closing this game out. I didn't realize how much their deck relies on having a high amount of life. Ragavan's going to die very, very, very easily here, but that's okay. I think... because it's just going to die to a minus counter, but I think we still do it anyway. Red and green. We will dash Ragavan and swing with all 3. So Ragavan does have first strike, so they can't just trade it with the Young Wolf, but they can just cash the Young Wolf in and do lots of shenanigans and basically just block with something and then sack it. Because Ragavan does not have trample. So we are currently representing Bolt because of this Flooded Strand, but if we play this Brawler, obviously we won't be. Okay, so they're blocking like this. So now they're going to sack their Birds of Paradise to put a -1 counter on this. Sure. And now they need to sacrifice their Birds to put a -1 counter on the Young Wolf. They're choosing not to, okay. So that's not gone as well now. Our opponent is basically dead. Risky to tap out against our opponent, but I think things are okay. How do we lose? They'd have to have exactly Blood Artist and a Undying Creature here. Perhaps it was better to just not do anything and just keep the bolt up, because they could technically win here. Sorry, not Young Wolf. Wall of Roots, so that means they can't kill us this turn. Very, very relieved to see that. Okay. So they've got one card in hand, and they are passing it back. So they know what we've got, but we've got this bolt. So we could very, very quickly kill them here. I think we just attack and see what happens. I have absolutely no idea what they could do. They could chord for 2, get a Blood Artist. But they don't have the Undying Creature. Wow, they're really, really grasping at straws when you start doing blocks like this. Okay, then they're going to sack this, put a -1 counter on the Brawler so it doesn't kill the Wall of Roots. Oh, now they're changing their mind. They're floating the mana first in case they draw a Disfigure. Sorry, not a Disfigure, a Dismember. Yeah, that's fine. We're not going to bolt this Wall of Roots. Opponent is now thinking if they want to do anything else. They're going to proliferate. Oh, nice. So they discard a card, and then they put an additional counter on any permanents they want that's already got a counter. So this has got a -1/-1 counter, so they can put another one on top of it. Very nice. Let's go red, green, play the Kavu. There's no way we bolt the Wall of Roots there, I don't think. We just have to hope they can't combo off, and we should be okay. I apologise if people aren't happy with this game going long. This has been a hell of a grindy game. It's gone on for like 40 minutes, I think. But maybe you guys enjoy the grindy games. I don't know. Everyone enjoys different parts of Magic. Sometimes, like, people enjoy parts of my videos that I wouldn't have necessarily enjoyed as a viewer, and then other times I'll make like a video that I absolutely love, and then sometimes it doesn't get very well received. So like, it just shows you how some people love seeing grindy decks play like this. I can't think of anything worse than playing a grindy deck like that. Put -1 counter on here, sure. There's just no way. There is no way in hell I would be playing a Yawgmoth deck or some sort of grindy deck if I had the choice at a tournament. I want to play aggressive decks that kill my opponent quick, and I get to attack with creatures. It can be prowess creatures, big zoo creatures. It could be Arclight Phoenixes. It doesn't really matter, but I love the combat zone. That's where I want to be. Okay, so they're just digging through their deck. Don't really know what they could find at this point. Yeah, there's nothing they could find. Not really much to say there on our Eldritch Evolution targets. But overall, good game, and yeah.